What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be reacting to When Dead Men Fought Back. And this is a true story, and the original video is by YarnHub. And that's the name of the channel, so full credit goes to them. So let's begin.
It's a foggy night on August the 6th, 1915, and in the trenches near Auschwitz Fortress, the Russian Empire is facing off against the Germans in what is now modern-day Poland.
Bro, what was bro doing there?
Facing off against the Germans
What is he doing? He's not even
in what is now modern-day Poland. Lieutenant Kotlinski's boots sink in the mud as he patrols the trenches of his company. He's the 13th company commander, assigned to the Auschwitz Fortress, a stronghold protecting a choke point in the border.
Bro, is he on drugs or something? His eyes, like that bird's eyes keep glowing weirdly.
Tired men line the trench, many ill with trench foot and lice.
Oh, is that like the thing where mushrooms start growing on your feet? Yeah, I think that's that. Like, that sounds just horrible.
Artillery fire rains down on the fortress behind them, the thunder of explosions keeping the exhausted soldiers awake. In the distance, their enemies prepare for the battle. They are about to unleash a hideous and terrible weapon, a new way to cut down the defenders en masse. On the signal, German soldiers release a huge cloud of chlorine gas. There's a tailwind, and the gas starts to roll towards the unsuspecting defenders, drifting, clawing at the air. It's a wall of death that silently sucks the life of any wall of death that's
like, why do you do this? Like, also, why is it green? Is it green in real life, or is that just an artistic choice? But it kind of looks like farts. But like, why do you do this? This seems like one of the most horrible ways
to roll towards the unsuspecting defenders, drifting, clawing at the air. It's a wall of death that silently sucks the life of any unfortunate man or beast that's enveloped by its green clinging embrace. As silent as the grave, it forms pools of smog as it pours over and into ditches and craters. In the Russian-held trenches, a sentry shouts, "Gas!" The men stand up and look over the parapet. On the other side, they see the nightmares of every soldier, a massive wall of dark green fog looming ever closer. The soldiers panic. They have no gas masks. The men desperately rush to fabricate makeshift masks. They take bandages and rags, urinate them, and put them over their nose and mouths. Some can't and use water instead. And others are left desperately trying to get the materials they need as the cloud of death approaches ever closer. Kotlinski's chest feels tight, and the air around him starts to burn. He holds his mask tight to his face and closes his eyes. The gas rolls over the trench, and the pain skyrockets. Over the trench, and the pain tight
Yeah, he's not over his nose. I can
to his face and closes his eyes. The gas rolls over the trench, and the pain skyrockets. Men cry and scream
looks like the bride from the
around him, their lungs and skin burning away. He can do nothing but hold his mask tight and hope as the screams of his comrades.
The most horrible and painful ways to die. I wouldn't wish to be sentenced to send anyone to World War I.
Fall quiet, one by one. He collapses, his strength slowly and painfully withering away.
At least he didn't die from nothing, because they still...
A German soldier advances through the fog, surrounded by his countrymen. Once a kill zone, now they
understood
They approach eerily unopposed. A complete.
Why do they have those spikes on their picket helmet? Like, it's called a picket helmet, right? Yeah, it is. Why do they have those spikes? Is it to headbutt people, or like if you run out of ammo or something, or is it? But they have bayonets. Like, why would they do that? Maybe it's so that Germans can recognize each other in battle, so they don't shoot each other.
An utter silence has fallen upon the battlefield, only broken by the sounds of their own boots stepping on the mud.
Oh, dead bird.
His chest still hurts.
Dude, that bird is a vampire. It just came back from the dead, or it's a zombie. Yes, it's a zombie. That bird just came back from the dead.
Gas still lingers in the air.
And it's also
trench lines and fortifications face down his unit through the fog, like hunting specters, but nothing ever fires at them. His fellow soldiers cut a path through the rat's nest of barbed wire, and the unit keeps moving. They reach the first trench and see the devastation.
Wait, imagine you're gonna fire the gas at the enemy and then the wind blows it back at you. I guess they must have coordinated so that like they have the good timing so that the wind doesn't bring the gas back to them to attack the Russians.
Bodies of men covering their mouths, huddling in corners, some fallen outside the trenches as they tried to flee. It's complete devastation. His unit finds a Russian soldier sunken in the trench, barely clinging on to life.
Come on, don't shoot him.
The German looks away as he can't bear to watch as a fellow soldier puts the Russian out of his misery. His blade...
Yeah, I was gonna say that's like bad that they're killing people who are gonna die anyways, but yeah, that's probably a faster and less painful way to die.
Probably bringing more mercy than doom upon the poor soul. Now, tentatively and on edge, the unit resumed the advance. They cross over the second line of trenches, still no resistance, but more death. Then, as they approach the reserve trench, they see some movement through the fog. The Germans stop. Ghosts stalk them, more figures in the fog, and the sounds of...
Why do they... Wait, this is a true story, right? What is this, Guts and Black Powder World War I edition?
Steps in the mud reach their ears. Suddenly, a figure appears from the fog walking towards them. Emerging from the mist is a Russian. At least that's what they think it is. It's difficult to tell. The German soldier's blood runs cold. That isn't alive. That man is dead. Then more figures appear from the fog. And more. And more. It's a horde of twisted, broken bodies. The dead are walking. The terrified German drops his rifle and runs for his life.
How is this biologically and physically possible unless they aren't actually dead? I bet like there's gonna be an explanation for how.
He leads the charge with all the strength he has left. He falls upon the first German he sees. His comrades quickly join, and together they take the fight to the enemy with their bayonets. The two lines clash in a chaotic and brutal melee, and bullets fly through it all. There's no order, no plan, only the most pure, deep hatred fueling the soldiers. The shot Germans fall into disarray. Many flee the scene. The remaining fight for their lives. Both sides lose men as the battle goes on, but the terrifying visage and unwavering resolve of the dead men proves overwhelming. The Germans fall back under heavy resistance. Men from other companies join into the brawl, and artillery rains down on the rear of the German position. Kutlinski charges the first captured trench, bayonet in hand, but he's struck by a bullet on his side. He collapses on the muddy terrain as the rest of his men pass by
Charging into trenches is a dumb idea.
Him, charging on ahead. The Germans within are quickly dispatched, and a soldier drags Kutlinski to safety. He's heavily wounded and unable to fight. Bleeding profusely, he sees Lieutenant Streminski, a brave Polish sapper from one of the companies. Kutlinski calls for him.
Saying, of course they're alive, otherwise they wouldn't be able to like do anything. like because their brain is shut off.
And cedes his command to the soldier. Stremiński solemnly takes the position, salutes his commander, and leaves to continue the attack. Stremiński rejoins his comrades as the charge turns from a fight to the last man to a successful counterattack. The Germans are fleeing and the Russian soldiers rapidly retake the defensive lines. In the trenches, they find hundreds of their fallen comrades. This invigorates the dead men, their fury and hatred demanding revenge. Stremiński leads the charge to the last trench under control of the Germans. They breach it and mercilessly dispatch the enemy. With the retaking of the last trench line, the counterattack comes to an end, every enemy either dead or having fled back into the fog from which they came. Stremiński said, "I cannot describe the bitterness and fury with which our soldiers marched against the German poisoners."
Karabiny, broń maszynowa, ani ciężkie szrapnele nie były w stanie powstrzymać ataku oszalałych żołnierzy. Wyczerpani, zatruci, biegli tylko w celu zmiażdżenia Niemców. Nikt nie zostawał w tyle, nikogo nie trzeba było poganiać. Nie było pojedynczych bohaterów, kompanie działały jak jedna osoba, ożywione tylko jednym celem, jedną myślą: umrzeć, ale zemścić się na nikczemnych trucicielach.
The attack of the dead men, while a valiant revenge against a terrible weapon, would ultimately be in vain. The Russians were forced to abandon the fortress under threat of encirclement just 2 weeks later. Lieutenant Vladimir Kotlinski died from his injuries the evening of the attack. Under his command, he had rallied the remains of his and another unit and led them to charge at the right moment in time. He was posthumously awarded the Order of St. George, 4th grade, for his valiant actions on that fateful day.
Wait, he was only 21 when he died.
He was just 21 years old.
Yeah.
Lieutenant Vladislav Stremiński was awarded the Sword of St. George for his bravery during the attack. He continued to serve and would suffer many injuries throughout the war, but he survived and went on to become an influential artist in Poland, his homeland. He died peacefully on December the 28th, 1952.
Bro, no explanation? Dang scam. Well, please so I'm gonna actually react to that one sometime. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Full credit goes to YarnHub. So, yeah, please like, subscribe, and comment. See ya!